Serie A World.
You alright? How you doing?
Fine man, all good. How's it going on your side?
Yeah, there's a lot to get through. Just before we start, what I'll just say, because I mean it's not happening until next year, but the draws happened for the Nations League. The quarterfinals are going to be played in March, and then the semi-finals and the third place playoff and the final in June. The draw is Netherlands versus Spain, and the winner of that is going to play Croatia versus France. So that's one side of the table, and then the other side, Denmark are playing Portugal, and the winner of that plays Italy or Germany. So that's it. His route is going to be Germany, and if they can get past them, Denmark, Portugal, and then whoever else from the others, if they can get to the final again. There's loads of complications. There's no point in going into it because I think they're saying that even though the way it's run now, the Nations League is run, it's still all worked out because of the qualifications for the World Cup, that the same teams are going to be in that pot anyway. But getting to the last four in the Nations League is supposed to give qualification for the World Cup as well, as in like pot one and stuff like that. But it's already sorted. So that's that. And then we're going to talk about the weekend obviously now. Do you want me to quickly run through the results and then we have a talk?
Yeah.
Okay, so it all kicked off with Inter smashing Verona 5-0. We had a boring Milan-Juve 0-0. Atalanta beat Parma 3-1. Genoa Cagliari drew 2-2. Torino-Monza drew 1-1. Fiorentina beat Como 2-0. Napoli beat Roma 1-0. Lazio beat Bologna 3-0. And then we had Empoli yesterday drawing 1-1 with Udinese. And then Lecce beating Venezia 1-0. In terms of predictions, I got 80% and 2 scores.
Nice.
You got 70% and 4 scores. And the AI got 80% and 1 score.
Oh man, so I'm falling behind now.
Well, as I say, it depends how you look at it. You got 4 scores out of 10, so do you know what I mean? That's still 40% of the scores.
Yeah. So which scores did I get right? Do you have that info there?
I do, yeah. Well, same as me, you got Atalanta Parma, and then
what was that again? That was...
So that was 3-1 to Atalanta.
Okay.
You got the Torino Monza 1-1.
Yeah.
Then the Fiorentina Como 2-0 to Fior. And then lastly, again, this is the other one I got right as well, was Empoli Udinese 1-0.
Oh yeah, Torino Monza was I just could see that in the stars, I think. And Inter Verona, it was just one off, wasn't it? So
yeah,
that would have been. Good stuff. Great.
Yeah.
Next week I want to beat the AI.
Well, that's how you do in scores. It was only 10% out otherwise. But yeah, I mean, anything you want to mention from those games in particular?
No. I mean, it was. I felt that, as you said, boring. It didn't live up to what it was, the Milan-Juve game.
Well, I say,
should have been much better than that for a neutral.
It should have, and I think in a way because I'm sure that was one of the games that people watch worldwide, and I think they actually embarrassed the league with the game. I know I keep going on about it, but it is just that thing that Milan are just inconsistent. Juve are being inconsistent as well. But at the beginning they looked really solid, looked like they were going to do something, and then they started like up and down, and I don't know, they seem to have lost the touch at the moment. Which, when we get on to, or if you want me to just mention now, the European games, I really hope they all step up in them. I might as well just go through them now anyway. So tonight we've got Slavia Bratislava playing Milan at 5:45. Inter have got Leipzig at 8 p.m. and then Atalanta are travelling to Young Boys at 8 p.m. And then tomorrow, Juve are going to Villa at 8 p.m. Bologna are playing Lille at 8 p.m. And then on the Thursday, we've got the Europa League with Lazio Ludogorets 5:45. Roma are travelling to Tottenham at 8 p.m. And then at the same time, in the Conference League, Fiorentina are playing Paphos. So I'm really hoping these teams step up and not embarrassing our league in Europe this week.
Yeah, I feel they can do it. We had a good week. Remember, we had a nice week of fixtures, favourable ones for Serie A teams maybe a couple months ago, a month ago, and that didn't end too well. But I think now the fixtures have sort of moved on and more games have been played. I think we should be fine.
Yeah, the only one, well, I say the only one, the one I'm probably worried about most, getting embarrassed, is Roma going to Tottenham. So it's going to be one of those things where we're going to see which Roma turns up. As I say, having Ranieri just starting, I think he made like one change to start in his starting lineup, but he's not really had much time to have a look at his team by that point on the weekend. So he's got a little bit more time till Thursday to sort something out, and hopefully they can step up in that game.
I think so. I think they can. It's just, unfortunate. They didn't get whooped in the league with Napoli, which people might have thought would happen. So, let's see how they do.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I can see they're still going on about Juve trying to get Skriniar. Seems to be the thing. So they're trying to get him for January.
Yeah.
What else is going on? There's the Pogba trial was started with the people who tried to blackmail him, they're saying, but he's no longer Serie A, so no longer in our thoughts, but just that's ongoing anyway. Could be interesting. I don't know if you saw, Del Piero is apparently going for the presidency for FIGC.
I saw it. Yeah.
So I'm hoping if he does get it, that he's not going to end up just like one of the others and actually get this league sorted and hopefully actually hire some people who are on the same level as him in the sense of football experience, as well as probably some younger people who are not going to be so, how can we put it? I don't know. you know what I'm saying, innit?
I agree. I think more the issue is probably not with him not wanting to or doing anything. It's the older boys in charge that seem to block off, don't they?
Yeah.
Anyone with new ideas or anything. Remember the classic example, Baggio. We all thought, this is great, he's there.
Yeah.
And then he left, and his reason was something like people don't want to change here, kind of thing. So, I really hope things have moved on since he had a dash. And I'd love to see Del Piero there. I've met the guy as well. People tell me before I've met him, he's a nice guy. Like he's got no ego, and I saw that when I met him. So obviously we didn't go deep into conversations, but he seemed like a good guy. And I think he goes all over the world promoting Serie A, so that's a good start already, isn't it?
Exactly, and that's the thing that's needed. I have noticed this season that there is a bit more interest in Serie A itself, but saying that, I'm still not too happy with the way it is to actually watch games, even especially in this country. It's just ridiculous, and I'm not even going to mention the sites as well, because I think the last time I checked, it's gone from being free to now you have to pay for every game. So I don't know if they're still giving some games free or not, but I've not even bothered with it anymore. The only site I would say for people to look at, and which I've mentioned before, is that livesoccertv.com, because depending on where you are in the world listening to this, that actually will show the game. If you click on the game that you want to look at, not even just Serie A, any game going on that day, you can see an international list of, in your country, what channel it's on. So that should help, and I'm sure other people can find other ways of finding the games they want to get as well. So
yeah, thanks for saying that, because every year even I get confused. I'm like, hang on, what channel is this on? What channel is it going to be on? It should not be like that.
Yep, and so I'm disappointed on one of the channels in particular that was claiming all the time last time, oh yeah, we're going to show every game and all this stuff, and then slowly you could see them taking 1 or 2 games away to not show, and then now they're showing 1 or 2 at the most throughout the whole round, which is ridiculous. So yeah, more is still needed in Serie A, even though it is getting more hype in the sense of people talking about it and stuff like that. It's not readily available worldwide, which I just don't understand, and it just seems like it's being held back, and it's either by the people running the league or there's other things at play, shall we say, because it seems it's always being held back for some reason. Well, we can have our own conspiracy theories and stuff if we want, but it just needs to be something just like any other TV shows or whatever else, or films and things. These type of things should be available. You shouldn't have to be restricted in trying to watch your own team play. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So yeah, I mean, is there anything else on your mind that you want to talk about?
I think you have covered most of that, so
yeah.
I'm just trying to think if I missed anything. I mean, the Del Piero story was a big one. Obviously the fixtures, games that just passed. I mean, I think you mentioned as well, I mean, it was a high-scoring game for Inter.
Yeah.
But you did note that, these were not wonder goals or anything.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they weren't. I wouldn't say there was standout goals in them, but it doesn't have to be. If you got 5, who cares? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would they care?
That's it, and I guess we have everyone watching Fiorentina now, because it's 7 wins in a row.
Yeah, they are on fire. Keane's on fire as well, still scoring.
Goals scored. 20 goals scored, 3 goals conceded. Not bad.
Yeah. It's good. I was saying to you, it's looking good. Even there's so many Italian players performing at a good level, and even if they've not been picked for the Italy squad, they're still carrying on, and it's really good to see. And I'm hoping that's just going to boost even more with the emergence of the younger Italians coming through at the various levels, as well as the ones who are actually getting opportunities in Serie A themselves. So it's looking bright for the league and the nation itself. So I'm just hoping it keeps moving on up and just getting back to where it should be, and where it was before, where it is the main league and one of the main national teams in the world. So what I think we'll do on obviously, say we've got the European games, we can talk about them on Friday, and also the weekends coming up, fixtures, and go from there. Does that sound good?
Sounds good. Just one question for you.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Milan Primavera coach potentially replacing Fonseca. Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, I mean, who knows? It's not just a simple tradition, isn't it? You're looking after the kids and transition. Going from doing the Primavera straight to the main teams, it's a risk. It's hard to say if it'll pay off. I mean, it's like in the early days where they used to gave like Saki and Capello and all that a chance, isn't it? So Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just an easy cop out for Milan themselves to just say, right, if we do get rid of Fonseca, then we'll just bring him in, and then he'll become the scapegoat, because it won't matter, because he won't be the main manager that they were after in the first place. Do you know what I mean? So Milan, I think, have got a lot of work to do behind the scenes as well as on the pitch themselves. I mean, they're falling. I think they're just off the top of my head, I think they're about 10 points behind Napoli now, aren't they? Something like that. So even though they've got that game at hand against Bologna, that's not a guaranteed win. And the more the season's going on, it seems like they're falling more and more behind. So they're going to be lucky to get into Europe if they carry on like they are. So yeah, I mean, that's my opinion on them.
Yeah. And no, it's something to watch anyway.
Yeah, I think
not sure firing him is going to be the answer to their problems.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had the opportunity before the season started to pick someone else, well, a few people, and as we know, Conte was one of those. So there was a point where Conte was holding off jobs to go to Milan from what was being said, and they turned and said no. So what can you do? Well, from their point of view, that seems like it was a big mistake. How things are going at the moment. So I think the teams that are sticking out at the moment are Napoli, Lazio, Fiorentina, and Inter, and Atalanta. For me, they seem to be the main teams who are being really consistent in their results.
Good Lazio join. They're also on great form, aren't they?
Yeah.
11 wins out of 12.
Yeah.
11 points more than this point last year, and playing interesting football, maybe.
And well, they've got a good squad and good depth as well. So that's what's needed now, especially if you are in Europe. Okay,
yeah,
well,
so, there you go.
That's it, yeah. Okay, well, we'll catch up on Friday, and hopefully with some good news for the European results.
Exactly.
Alright,
Cheers.
I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.